Hello?
Hi, thank you so much for joining.
What's up?
Hey,
Oh my goodness, look at my color bars. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it looks cool.
I'm just kidding. Let me switch my video here. Hey, what's up?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you too. And how do you pronounce your name? Caroline?
Caroline, yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. I'm Jordan. Hi.
Hey, so for those who don't know you, what do you do? And just tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Jordan and I'm a professional film editor and I love to make music videos and I've edited a lot of videos for like Justin Bieber, Post Malone, Roddy Ricch, a lot of like bigger name artists, and so that's been a blessing to be able to do. And yeah, I've started making reaction videos on YouTube about almost a year ago now. I guess I started May last year, and so it's been really fun to dive into K-pop videos, American music videos, and like just explore how they are made and the little behind the scenes um, tidbits and tips from the post-production perspective.
Is there a major difference between like the K-pop videos and the American?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, there's definitely a big budget difference. K-pop videos really love to use the video as the final product, whereas in the American music video, or I guess in the American music industry, the song is the final product, and that's what everybody pushes out. And it's like, hey, go stream this on Spotify, stuff like that. But in Korea, they really put a lot of their money into the video, and that's like the final product. That's the thing that they push out. It's like, hey, everybody, go watch this new music video from GOT7, like it's really great. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh,
And
that's
they don't focus on the music part as much. So
cool. Yeah, is there anything in particular that inspired you to do like video editing and film?
yeah, so back I guess I graduated from college about 2 years ago. And back then I was in film school and I was editing my very first short film that I filmed for like my first film class. And I was editing it and I was in the edit lab and I was like going to town, having a good time. And then I look up at the clock and it was like 5 a.m. I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? It's so early. Time has flown. And at that point, I was like, wow, I really like editing. This is fun. It's really great to be able to piece the story together and influence the way that the story is told, just by editing on the computer. It's super fun. And so that's what got me into it. And from then on, I was like, hey, do you guys want to let me edit your stuff? And it'll be a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Is there any advice that you'd give to beginners who are just starting?
I think the best advice I would give to beginners is to just start. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, my phone just went off.
Oh, no problem.
No, I think the best advice I would give to beginners is to just start making stuff. Like literally go out with your friends, use your iPhone, use your any kind of like camera that you have and make videos and start editing them on your own time. And that's how I got started in music videos. I just borrowed a friend's camera and I had a friend who like is a rapper. He makes music. And I was like, hey, bro, let's make a music video for you. And that was my very first music video that I ever made. And that's just kind of how you got to get started. You got to just start making stuff with your friends and make more friends and make more things. And eventually maybe you'll get to a level where it becomes a job for you. And so, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I know this is a hard question, but do you have any piece of work that you've done in particular that's been your favorite? Or is
That
it
is a
your
really hard question. And I'm sure I could ask you the same, like, what's your favorite song that you've ever made? Like, that's a hard question, right?
Yeah.
But actually, I just had a piece come out recently that is probably my favorite piece, and it got a lot of press and awards recently, which is really cool. It is a Vimeo staff pick. So if you're like a filmmaking nerd like me, you know that's like there's a website called Vimeo where a lot of filmmakers go to put their music videos and short films and stuff like that. And if you get a staff pick, that's a big deal because somebody from the Vimeo staff really likes your video. And so that was really cool. And it's been on Director's Library, Boom, probably a bunch of things that only filmmaker nerds really have heard of. But for me, it's a big deal because the filmmaking community really enjoys the video and I enjoy it a lot. And so that was a music video for an artist called Kelly Holiday, who's an Australian artist. And so that was really cool and very excited about that video.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As a filmmaker, do you usually kind of just do the technique behind it and the editing, or do you also like to come up with the concept and the story?
Yeah. So as an editor, I would be more doing the technical stuff
Mhm.
as far as piecing the story together and choosing what shots I want at certain moments and making sure it feels good and the overall flow is awesome. But I've also done some directing on the side a little bit, and that is you're basically the author of the entire video. So you come up with the concept, you shoot it, you edit it sometimes, and you're really the creative person that's in charge of that entire video. And I've done a couple music videos like that recently, and that's been a lot of fun. Um, Being able to just go from the very beginning, which is pre-production, come up with the music video concept, make it, and finish it out and be involved throughout the entire process. So, but usually I'm an editor and I just do the post production, which is the back end of production there.
Cool. Are you ever involved in promoting the videos and getting them out there, or not really? You kind of let the artist do it?
That's a good question. I think a lot of artists do. I mean, a lot of artists, like in films, I know this is a side topic, but I think in films, usually the marketing budget is at least the same or double the actual budget of like a movie. And I think, especially in big music videos or in big uh, music video budgets for like larger artists, they also have a similar marketing budget. So with those people, I let them do that. They have their own team, their own marketing plans to push their music video out. But being on YouTube recently has been a lot of fun because I can just post like in the community tab on YouTube and be like, hey, I made a new music video that I edited. If you want to go check it out and leave a comment, that'd be awesome. And that helps some of the smaller music videos get a little bit more views and more traction. And that's been really cool to see. So that's been a lot of fun being able to say like, hey, if you want, you can go watch this music video that I edited. So thanks, guys. And that's been
That's
a lot of fun.
awesome. Is there anything that in particular that made you want to start a YouTube channel?
Um, I think it was more of like a quarantine project where, um, everything was getting shut down and we had to stay home and we are like, what do we do with our time? And a lot of my normal work, which is editing work, comes from productions and people weren't able to film. So I didn't have as much editing work to do. So at that point I was like, hey, I would love to just like break down music videos that I've done for popular artists and maybe somebody would find it interesting. Because I know me personally, if I went on YouTube and saw that, I'd be like, whoa, that's really cool. I want to watch what this editor did for this music video because I also edit. So I was expecting it to appeal to a smaller audience, which it did. And then I had the idea of maybe creating because there's lots of professionals that react to certain things, like producers react to songs and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, maybe I'll do like video editors reacting to other music videos. And so I tried that and that really took off. People really liked listening for some reason, really liked listening to me talk about music videos and stuff. And so I've been doing that ever since and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah.
Yeah, are you like, will you just go full force and critique it, or do you like try not to be too mean? Like, what's
That's
your,
a good question because I mean, a lot of the people the people that watch my videos are fans of whatever video I'm reacting to. So, like, for example, it's like a Taylor Swift video, I'm going to have a lot of Swifties hopping on the video and seeing what I say about their favorite music video. So, usually, if I have critiques, I like to be very kind and I like to like kindly critique them just so I don't upset anyone too much. But I mean, if it's a large music video, usually they do a really great job and it's really awesome. And so usually I don't have very much to say, but I do want to be honest and point out anything that I think could be improved. So that's that's how people learn is you learn by pointing out things that could be improved and then improving upon them. And so I'd want to make sure that people learn. And I also want to make sure that people have a good time watching my videos. So
yeah,
a little
totally.
bit of both.
Yeah, and I'm sure so many people learn so much from your videos.
Oh,
And,
thank
like,
you.
hear things because even when I've watched your videos, it's like you hear things that you wouldn't even think about, like, as a viewer. Yeah,
Wow, thanks so much. That's so cool.
it's cool. Has there been a part of your YouTube journey that's been, like, the most surprising so far? Or
That's
just you
very
haven't expected?
that's very interesting. I think one thing, just because I'm not very experienced at YouTube, I'm very young and new to the game. Um, the way that the algorithm works is very interesting to me because they like YouTube has such a good algorithm in the way that it recommends videos for people to watch, and that's how most people discover new channels and discover different areas on YouTube to take deep dives. You know, when you like click on something and now there's like a YouTube rabbit hole and you're like, oh frick, how did I get here? I don't even know. But that's how the YouTube algorithm works. And so I think learning about that and how specific it gets is a like a big learning curve for me, because I thought I could post a bunch of different content and everyone would want to watch it and YouTube would send it to exactly to people that would want to watch it. But it's more, YouTube favors very niche audiences, I guess. So the my audience is like K-pop people that really like editing, and that's like how niche it gets. Like it's difficult for me honestly to do American music videos at this point because I have such a large K-pop audience that they really just want to see K-pop videos. They don't really care too much about any American rappers. They don't care about Drake. They don't care about those people. And so that's been definitely a learning curve for me, and something that I wish I knew a little bit more before starting a YouTube channel. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, pick a direction that you want to go and stick with it. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then do you watch the videos that you react to beforehand, or do you make
Ooh, that's good. I actually do. I definitely, it's a little secret. Actually, it's not a secret, but I don't explicitly say that I do that. But yeah, I definitely watch them before just so I can point out things that are interesting. Because if I reacted to a video, like actually reacted to it and just watched it, I would just sit there like with my mouth open and like wouldn't say anything because I'm taking in everything that's coming at me. And so I have to watch it a couple times usually in order to really like get myself immersed in the material so I can say things that people would find interesting. And so like the things that, like you said, you're like, hey, I didn't even notice that about the video. Like I wouldn't be able to say any of those things because I would just be watching it for the first time too. So that's why I like to watch it a few times, just so I can provide some value on YouTube, and that people can maybe learn something.
Yeah, for sure. Because I've talked to other reactors who are like, I just do it cold. And I don't understand how they do it because it's like, how can you even think and say it out loud the first
Right,
time? I feel like you have to
right,
say it a couple times.
right.
Comfortable with
And
it.
I could do that, but I just, yeah, I feel like I would miss so many things that happen in the video, and then everyone would be in the comments like, Jordan, you missed all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know, it was my first time watching it, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and then how do you choose what you're gonna react to? Do you do like fully request
that's
or
a really I don't even know how I choose.
yeah,
Honestly, I pick it usually I film the day before I release it. So I release everything on Mondays and Fridays in the morning if you're in America, in California. And yeah, and then I usually film the day before, and I usually don't decide what I'm reacting to until like right before I react to it. So it's like it's not pre-planned. I just kind of make it up as I go along and feel out what people would like to watch and what I think is interesting and fun to break down. So that's kind of how I select the videos, but it's really random.
yeah.
It could be planned like a couple days in advance, but oftentimes like I'm gonna make a video tomorrow because tomorrow is when I make videos. I have no idea what I'm doing for tomorrow, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, I do the same thing, so I totally get what you mean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, what have you kind of learned about K-pop through the process of getting into it? Have you become a K-pop fan?
I've learned a lot, and I think the reason I started doing K-pop on my YouTube channel was because I already was a K-pop fan. Um, and so I started liking K-pop back in 2018. So it was about 2.5 years ago. And I was like, wow, because I was just getting into music videos and getting into filmmaking stuff at that time. And I was like, wow, these music videos are insane. The choreography, the swagger, they're like, wow. And I was so engrossed in it. And I just watched a ton of K-pop, got invested in a bunch of different bands. And I was like, wow, these are really freaking cool. And so from then, when I started doing reaction, I was like, shoot, I have to do K-pop reactions because they're some of my favorite music videos. And from then on, I started doing some K-pop reactions. And so sometimes you just go on a deep dive K-pop hole and you're just learning everything about a band, and you're like learning all the members' names, and you're like watching all their dance practices and like really engrossing yourself in who they are. And it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. I haven't done that as much recently because I do it now for YouTube. So I spend a lot of time researching about like a specific video so I can do like a really fun reaction. And so I don't do it as much as I used to on my free time. But yeah, always learning new things about K-pop. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then to you, what makes a music video good or really stand out?
Ooh, that's a great question. I love that question. I think what makes a music video good is either telling a story, like either it could be with symbolism or an actual story that's very explicit, because the goal of any kind of artwork is to emotionally affect somebody and I guess change them and make them feel something. So if a music video can do that, that's awesome. And they did a great job doing what it was meant to do. So sometimes that could be telling a story. Sometimes that could be really cool visuals and choreography that just makes us go, wow. Sometimes that could be transporting us to another world and like just showing crazy VFX. That's like, wow, I'm in space on the moon watching somebody dance with a chicken. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like, that was a lot of fun. And it just kind of gives us an escape from the world for like 2 or 3 minutes. And I think that's what makes a great music video good.
yeah, for sure. And then
Yeah.
where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube. Just type in my name, Jordan Orme, and you could find me on Instagram. I'm Jordan_Orme there, and Twitter, again, just Jordan Orme, no underscore. And yeah, we have a lot of fun. So come hang out. It's a great time.
For sure. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much, Caroline. And everybody go freaking listen to Caroline's music because it's good. She
Thanks.
has some bops.
Well, thanks. I hope you like them.
Yes, I like them. They're good.
Thanks.
You're making bops out here. Come on.
Thanks.
Great job. I'm really impressed.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Of course. Of course.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All right. You have a great day.
Yeah, you too.